Personal story segment time. New book called Tom Cruise, An Unauthorized Biography, chronicles the actor's life in association with Scientology. With us now, the author of that tome, Andrew Morton. I love that word, tome. All right, I read your book, and most people you talk with, interviewers, you know, they'll skim it. But I actually read it, and I don't get the beef. So the guys in Scientology. So what?
Well, if you're writing about somebody's personality, their character, then obviously you're looking at what's really making him. And he says himself that he is that to understand him, you've got to understand Scientology. So you've really got to explore how he got involved, why he got involved, what is it about.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
What's it about Scientology which appeals to him, his character?
But you take a little bit of a critical tone in the book toward him, and I didn't get the tone. So, look. One of my boyhood friends is a Scientologist, okay? It's not for me, but nobody's dragging anybody into be Scientology seminars. If he wants to be a Scientologist, you can't go to Germany and be one. It's outlawed, but here you can be. So I'm not getting why people even care one iota about Tom Cruise or John Travolta or anybody else in Scientology. Do you know why they care?
Well, I think that people care about it because it's an intriguing religion or faith or organisation or cult or whatever you want to call it, or sect. I mean, it is you know, it was a kind of a semi-criminal cult in the early 70s. I mean, when Tom Cruise joined it, it was facing oblivion. So in many respects, he has hauled it from obscurity to the force it is today. So therefore, it's really worthwhile as an exploration of his character and where we are today in modern celebrity, because as a celebrity he's used that celebrity to extol the virtues of his faith and push it.
But I mean, look, I'm a Roman Catholic and I say good things about my religion, and I think other people do in a celebrity situation. Do you ever feel badly that you do delve into people's private lives and you discuss his marriages and things like that? Do you feel badly writing that stuff on the page? Ever?
Oh no, I mean, you know, Tom Cruise has discussed his private life on many occasions, and I mean, biography is exploration of.
But this is unauthorized.
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's unauthorized or authorized. If it's authorized, you're discussing their lives. By definition, you're looking to somebody's life, and here he is, the man that Forbes called the most powerful celebrity in the world, a man who has dominated Hollywood for the last 25 years, who's now got his own studio. He will shape Hollywood for the future. He's definitely a case for study.
But you don't think he's doing anything bad, do you?
It's not a question of whether he's doing anything bad or anything right. It's a question of the fact that he's a fascinating, controversial
I don't argue with that.
An intriguing
but you wouldn't say he's doing anything bad, would you?
Well, no, of course not. I wouldn't say he's doing anything
bad. Because when you wrote the book about Diana, you're a little sympathetic to Diana. I thought you were sympathetic to her. Here, I don't think you're sympathetic to this guy. And the proof of that is that your book, even though you're a British subject, isn't being published in Britain because they might come after you. Scientology well,
no, that's proof of the litigious nature of Scientology and the litigious nature of Tom Cruise and the ferocious nature of the laws in Britain, and the fact that Britain is a centre for what's called libel tourism, where all kinds of people use it.
Okay, so you do say it wasn't worth it to go through the litigation you'd have to go through.
Well, the publishers in Britain decided against it. I must say, as someone who believes in freedom of expression, I find it very disappointing. And especially as Tom Cruise himself is a great extoller of freedom of expression for Scientology in places like Germany. Which
as long as the expression is
so long as it's his and nobody else's.
You see, I'd like to see America adopt some of Britain's law, because now here you can say anything you want about a celebrity if the person's famous, and if it's not true, it doesn't matter. You can just smear and slime and defame all day long. That's wrong. So I think there's got to be a middle ground. Now, when you are on the beat here, selling your book, most Americans don't care about Tom Cruise. They don't. All right, and I know. But if you took a poll, I guarantee you, if you took a poll among all Americans, do you care about Tom Cruise? I guarantee you. We'll do this poll on BillO'Reilly.com. I know on my program they'll say.
Do the poll. And I'll bet you.
They'll say no.
I'll bet you $10 you're wrong.
It's because it's a niche thing. It's like being an athlete or the same. Biggest name, big name, but people don't really care about him.
Bill,
he's remote to them.
Wrong. This has been water cooler conversation all across America. You've seen that. No, some.
Diana had a much greater appeal than Tom Cruise.
Everybody's been talking about Tom Cruise this week. The video that was out on the internet.
Yeah, that's because he's screaming on the video.
But it's not just that. He's a controversial character who has an impact way beyond these shores. He's a very interesting guy.
Do you really think he has an impact?
Of course he has an impact.
In what area? How does that influence anybody anywhere?
Bill, Tom Cruise is a man who can go see presidents, prime ministers. You might be able to do that. I can't do that. He can sit down. He can extol
he saw the Pope. Did he see the Pope?
Oh, I mean, he can probably
so
be the
what?
Pope.
He can see him. He can't affect any legislation. He can influence some people. I'll give you that. There might
Movers
be some...
and shakers in Washington will sit down with him.
Yeah, so they can go home and tell their wife, I had lunch with Tom Cruise. Not that he's going to get anything done. He's not.
Of course he's going to. That's why he does it. He's trying to get things done. He doesn't. He's a focused individual.
Yeah.
He's focused.
What do you
on
think? What do you think his ultimate goal is?
Well, the ultimate goal of Scientology is.
He wants everybody to be a Scientologist.
Is global domination.
Global domination.
They talk about clearing the planet. It's one of their goals.
Yeah,
to outlaw psychiatry. To outlaw.
I know what they want, but they're not going to get it. It's like, look, the Krishna people think that they're going to take over the world.
What gives you the thinking that that's going to happen? These are people they've been at it for what, 50 years. They've been very successful in America. They're moving to other countries around the world.
It's like this. It's little. They don't have a big presence here.
They have quite a big presence here, and they have influence.
Come on.
And
their numbers, I don't know what their numbers are, but there's nothing like the organization.
Well, certainly it's nothing like it's nothing like the Muslims or the Catholics, but they've been going for 50 years. And in actual fact, they're all often held up as probably the most successful of the new religions.
All right. Would you want to have lunch with Tom Cruise? Do you think he's a good guy?
In fact, he could buy me lunch.
All right. Andrew Morton, everybody. If you want Tom Cruise, if you like him, this is the book to read.